Hi, everybody. This is Roseanne Rogers. Stewart Title has a rich history of giving back to local communities where we serve. So we're proud to bring you our Christmas in July event on Thursday, July 25th, to support local charities across the Houston area and surrounding areas. That's right, Christmas in July. I know it's usually in December, but we're having it in July as well. Through this event, Stewart Title employees, customers, and community can participate in festive events to support their local charities this summer. So join us on Thursday, July 25th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at our new corporate headquarters located at 1360 Post Oak Boulevard for a day of giving back through adoptions and donations in support of the Harris County Animal Shelter. For donation and event details, Stewart Title locations throughout the city, contact me, Roseanne Rogers, at roseanne.rogers@stewart.com. Or if you can't find me, just Google me. You can also reach out to your local business development officer in your area. So we'll see you Thursday, July 25th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. for our Christmas in July. Ho, ho, ho.
When it comes to real estate, everything matters. Whether you're a realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title is here to inform, entertain, and inspire you. Host Bill Napick from Stewart Title will talk with guests about what really matters when it comes to owning, buying, and selling real estate. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title starts right now. Here's your host, Bill Napick.
And welcome to the show, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Thank you so much for joining us once again on this real estate radio podcast adventure, all those things. So whether you're listening right here in Houston, Texas, you might be in Tomball, Texas, Dallas, Dana Point, California, wherever you are, we have a great show assembled today. And we have great guests as always. As you heard earlier, don't forget all our Stewart Title business development officers at all the locations right here in Houston are celebrating Christmas in July, each one with a different way. And Christmas in July is next week. That is this coming week, Thursday, the 25th. So contact, and as I always say, stay close to your Stewart Title business development officer. Just Google Stewart Title in your location. You will find out, and make sure you attend Christmas in July at one of our locations. We have great causes at each and every one. And now we have from Tomball, Texas, Lewis and Debbie Smith. They are with Tealpointe Lake Estates. Debbie is a broker, an associate realtor, and Lewis is a developer in Tealpointe Lake Estates, and so much more. Hey, guys, welcome to the show.
Hey, welcome. Thank you.
Hello. Glad to be here.
Well, Debbie, let's tell people about what you do there at Tealpointe Lake Estates, and we'll find out what Lewis does. And Lewis is your husband, right?
Yes, he is.
So let's tell people.
All right. What I do is just in short, sales and marketing. So at this point, I'm working on marketing mostly and securing custom home builders to build in our subdivision.
And again, that's Tealpointe Lake Estates, right?
That's correct.
Let's tell people where that is as they listen. Certainly in Houston, people may know, but they may not.
Okay. Well, Tealpointe is located on a street in Tomball called Muskee Road. And the section of Muskee is between the Grand Parkway and 2920. So we are just a half a mile from the Grand Parkway on Muskee Road.
And when we talk about the Grand Parkway, for people out there, 99, it's a great highway, and it really has opened up the real estate market all over the west side and even beyond. So one of the advantages, they're right off of 99 if they want to go to Tealpointe Lake Estates, right?
That's exactly right.
That is awesome. And Lewis, let's tell people what you do there at Tealpointe Lake Estates and your vision.
Well, basically, I'm the financial manager as well as a developer. We selected this property because of its location in northwest Harris County in the Tomball, Rose Hill area, which is one of the prettier areas of Harris County. It has a higher elevation, and it's outside the floodplain. And so we purchased this 100-acre tract and we are developing a 51-lot custom home subdivision gated community.
Sounds like a really nice place.
It is. It's a great place.
And let's tell people, how long has it been around? Because as you guys came here, I see the shirts and your business cards. I remember Tealpointe Lake Estates at least from a year ago. But when did you first start this development?
Well, we bought the property in 2010, and so we've been holding the property until recently. What it was the Grand Parkway didn't even exist at the time that we bought the property. So we were thinking more of just like a rural residential community with not a lot of amenities. And as time has gone on, the Grand Parkway's gone in. Harris County's purchased a flood control district purchased 100 acres to the north of us for a regional detention basin. That's going to be a park, and there's a 130-acre tract called Klebwoods Nature Preserve just to the north of that. So we'll have 230 acres of parkland along our north property line. And Mischke Road was a 2-lane asphalt paved road, and now they're converting it into a 4-lane concrete paved boulevard.
So a lot of developing going on out there. I say it all the time, almost on every show, and that is that Houston is growing in every direction. And if you're not from Houston and you're listening to this show, again, outside of Houston or even outside of the state, let me tell you, Houston, if you think of it, it's in the center, so you can picture what we're talking about. And I say every direction we're experiencing growth. But if you were to go straight north, you have the Woodlands, and to the west of that is the area that we're talking about, a little bit west, Tomball, and then if you go southwest, again, you have Cypress and some of the other cities. But Tomball, as I'm looking at the map right now, looks like, for people that don't know about Tomball, Debbie, it sounds like it's a great location to enjoy Houston, also to enjoy the country.
It is. We're really close to everything. And being a half a mile from the Grand Parkway, they can get to just about everything on that Highway 99.
I love 99. Mm-hmm. It's a great road. So let's tell people also, we talked about some of the trees and things like that, the development, but if someone has never seen the Tomball area or even the Tealpointe Lake Estates, how would you describe that visually, Debbie? Like trees and all those things.
I'm going to let Lewis answer that question.
Well, it's more of a rolling area where the topography starts to roll and it's wooded. There's a lot of nice topographical features out there. It's a nice community to be in. This is particularly Rose Hill is a very desirable area.
Rose Hill. So let's tell people, Lewis, about the homes that are in Tealpointe Lake Estates.
Well, we're working on building homes right now. We're working with our builders, Mike Harrison, Morningstar Homes,
William
David Homes right now. Mike's working on designing a custom home, a spec home to build there. We don't have any homes currently under construction, but we're working on that right now.
And we're going to be talking to Mike a little bit later too, right?
That's right.
So, and the homes, give people an idea of the price points.
Well, we're looking at probably the very lowest around $800,000. The lots are running between $220,000 and $250,000, and then you build a home on top of that. So we're looking at $800,000, $850,000 to be the lowest priced home and go up from there. Mm-hmm.
And that sounds great. So as far as that area, when we talk again about that area, Debbie, Tomball, how is the market right now, just generally speaking?
Well, generally speaking, in the Houston area, I looked up luxury homes this morning so I could give you something accurate, and was really interesting. In the first section of 2018 till today, last year and today, beginning of 2019 to today, they've sold 700 homes in $1 million plus, 700 homes in 2018 up until June 17, and then this year 740 million plus have been sold. So the market is doing really great. The HAR.com in April posted the luxury market leads the way in Houston's April home sales. So the market's doing really good.
And what do you attribute that to? I would think part of it is the great interest rates. I mean, they're record
what
levels.
They said was lower mortgage interest rates, improving oil prices, steady economic growth, and more plentiful supply of housing.
So we have all the features, huh?
Yeah, we do.
That is incredible. So we are more than the halfway point of the year. If you were to guess, speculate, how would you say that we're going to finish things out here in this 2019?
I think we'll pretty much double what we've done already. So,
that's incredible.
Yeah, well, that's the way it was in 2018. I didn't take the whole rest of the year because you can't compare apples to apples that way. So it was like 1,800. So I think we'll probably do that and more.
So from the sales standpoint, you're out there promoting Tealpointe Lake Estates, right?
Yes.
Now, is that your sole function in the real estate world, or do you do other things?
Well, I also have a small real estate business myself. where I just do residential.
And is that in the Tomball area? Or
Well, I'm
all
located
over?
in West Houston, so I work a large territory.
And when people think about Tomball, give us another idea of the idea of Tomball. I think I did a little research. I think the guy's name was Thomas Ball. He was a lawyer and was very instrumental in that development of that area, and also some many other accomplishments around the Houston area.
He was an attorney, I believe, and he got the railroad to come through Tomball, and that's what put Tomball on the map. And then Humboldt Oil developed a field around Tomball. It was a very large field, and it was a company town. So they had, like, the whole town was based of Exxon employees, basically, which was Humboldt Oil. Humboldt Oil preceded Exxon, and they pretty much left by now because the field is mature, and so it was surrounded by rural farms and ranches, and that's kind of the feel that it still has. It's a very country feel. It has a lot of community activities for 4th of July and parades and and fairs in the fall, and a lot of fun things to do there for people.
Now, I went on to the website of the Tomball, I guess whatever, there's a City of Tomball website, and one of the videos, I forget who it was that said it. It said that Tomball gives you the small town environment with big city opportunity. Now, whoever said that, I think that's well put. Is that true?
Absolutely. That's exactly.
We'll go Tomball.
Tomball's really a special place.
It sounds like it. So tell us a little bit more about Tealpointe Lake Estates or whatever else, Debbie.
Okay. Well, I was looking over the website here this morning, and some of the quick facts about Tealpointe Lake Estate. You've already heard that there are 51 lots, and they're all an acre and a half. At the beginning of the entrance to the subdivision, it's a gated subdivision, and we have a 9.5-acre lake there. And the lake will have a gazebo and some fountains, and we're going to stock the lake. And then the road just kind of meanders back about a mile, and there's lots on either side. And they're all roughly an acre and a half. And then to the north, the entire north boundary of Tealpointe Lake Estates is this 100-acre tract that Lewis mentioned that's owned by the county. We're calling it the park. We're going to have private access because there's going to be 2 very large lakes and jogging trails. So the residents of Tealpointe, this is an amenity for them in addition to the lake that's at the beginning of the subdivision.
And again, let's tell people, how close to 99 is it?
We're just a half a mile.
Oh, my goodness.
A mile.
So that really gives, without 99, it would be a whole different story. But
Yes.
now that 99 is up and running for business for all this time, that really makes it tremendous. And Lewis, before we close out the segment, what else would you like people to know?
Well, Tealpointe Lake Estates is a unique opportunity for 1.5-acre lots because there's not much supply of that sort of a product. Most of the development that's going in now is more of your suburban type development with small 70-foot, 60-foot, 70-foot, 80-foot lots, 5, 6, 7, 8,000 square feet, and homes in the $200,000 to $500,000 price range. And so we're hitting a niche there where there's not much supply and there's plenty of demand.
That sounds great. And if people want to reach out to you?
You can go to the website at tealpointelake.com, and it's spelled Tealpointe Lake, Lake.com.
And Debbie, before we close out the segment, what else would you like people to know?
Well, I think they should just give me a call and
call Debbie.
Yeah, absolutely, and I can share with them about Mike, what he's building, and then what the other builders are talking about building, and what the future holds out there at Tealpointe.
And the phone number is
832-444-6442.
Give Debbie a call at 832-444-6442. The website is Tealpointe, Pointe, lake.com, tealpointelake.com. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Lewis. We're coming right back with even more. Stay with us.
Most people don't know that Stewart offers business, home, and auto insurance. In fact, Stewart Insurance and Risk Management has been doing that and more for over 10 years. And they partner with many leading insurance companies to offer great rates. They're a national insurance agency operating in all 50 states, delivering a broad range of insurance products. Whether you need a home insurance quote for a client's home closing or your own insurance needs, you can count on them. Call 866-845-4676. That's 866-845-4676. Stewart Insurance and Risk Management is here to help.
And welcome back, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Here we go. Now we have the unique opportunity. It's always great to talk to a home builder, not just any home builder, but one that has been in the business for many, many decades. His name is Mike Harrison. The company is Mike Harrison Custom Homes. Hey, Mike, welcome to the show.
Good morning.
So let's tell people, first of all, you're building a home right now or getting ready to in Tealpointe Lake Estates, right?
We're in the design stage right now.
And this home, let's just talk about that for a second. Let's tell people what they would expect when they see this home as it develops and when it's eventually ready.
This home is going to be a one-story, and it's going to be approximately 52 to 5,500 square feet.
It's going to be nice, huh?
I think so. With the one-stories, we're seeing more and more demand, especially when you're on an acre and a half. People want to spread out, don't want to be close to the neighbors, and don't want to walk upstairs.
And give us an idea, as far as building a home, when I think about it, and maybe other people think the same thing, there's so many things involved. In fact, just being a homeowner, when we think about the things that we have to fix along the way, repair, the homes have so many components to it. So as a builder, you really have, that's really a big responsibility to put that all together. Give us an idea how you do that and when you build homes, whether it's Tealpointe Lake Estates or some of the other ones you've built during your career. How do you get that all together to make sure everything's right?
Well, what you start with first is you get your lot selected. What makes me different than most of my competition is we go out and look at the lot. We look at what direction that it faces, especially the backyard, because that's where you're going to live. A lot of people who want an acre and a half are going to be outdoor people. So we're going to design the rear of the house with all the amenities, we'll make allowances for pool, the summer kitchen, all the outdoor living that we would want when you're thinking about an acre and a half. We are going to design for all age groups, but mainly I would think that it's going to be probably 40 and up is going to be probably the bulk of our market, because that's who the majority of those people can afford the $850 and up price point.
Exactly. And as far as you mentioned pools, and out of, let's say, 10 homes that you build, how many people are choosing to put pools in the yard, roughly?
Just about 100%.
100%. And this time of year, it's probably easy to sell pools as well.
It is. Again, in this size and this price point, it's a part of the outdoor living. We have people that I don't think they have any intentions of getting in the pool. They just like looking at it. Maybe they've got grandkids, or occasionally may get in it, but they all want them.
Indeed. If you're not using them, they sure look good too. Let's tell people about some of the homes other than Tealpointe Lake Estates in your 40 years, how perhaps home building has changed, evolved, certainly energy efficient features we hear about a lot. Let's tell people some of the things about that.
Well, as all things, it's the housing. Homes have really evolved in energy efficient and also in the way that you live in them. I've been at it 43 years. When I got in it, homes were more closed and cubicle. The homes that I do are very open. They flow very well. They are tremendously more energy efficient than what they used to be. We've got everything from tankless hot water heaters, the amount of insulation, the high efficiency heating and air conditioning, faucets and toilets that use minimal amounts of water to keep those utility bills down. We have home automation that turns lights on at certain times, turns them off at certain times, in case you just can't get up out of your chair.
Yeah, there's a lot of those smart home features, no doubt about it. What about windows? What's going on with windows when you put windows in for someone?
Well, I've been concentrating on lake lots and golf courses for probably the last 30 years. And with that, and it's the same as it would be on an acre and a half. You've got this big lot that no doubt is going to have a view, and people want a lot of windows to bring the outside living in. One of the biggest mistakes I see from some of my competition is they got windows that face the side of the house when the view is in the rear, but you've got all these big windows, and it's not just a big pane of glass. Nowadays, these windows, they're all double insulated. They got second generation low E, which that filters out the ultraviolet rays. So with all those big expanses of glass, you want to minimize the sun damage to your furniture, your rugs. But again, when you look at the direction the houses face, and most of those lots are north and south, so you won't have the morning or evening sun, which makes it a little easier to design.
Minimize the damage, but maximize the view, right?
Absolutely.
That's interesting that when we think about, and certainly, again, Tealpointe Lake Estates, views are going to be important, but certainly other places too. And then windows, that the view is so important. What's the best place for a home to face? If you were building a home for yourself, and I think you've done that at least one time, when you're building a home, which way do you want the front door?
I either want the front door to face the west or the north, or somewhere in between. Well, if you face the north, the prevailing winds are out of the south here in South Texas. So in the summertime, you want that south breeze so that you're sitting in your backyard and you're enjoying it. Pretty nice to have a breeze, not just depending on a fan, because when you're out there on your pool deck or in your pool, there's no fan above you. So if you can get that south exposure, that's a real plus.
No doubt about it. In fact, there's another energy-efficient feature, the way you position the home. It sounds like, and when I was on the website looking at Tom Ball and thinking about Thomas Ball, and even prior to that, they talked about the 1800s. When we think about Tom Ball, I think it was the late 1800s, people migrated to Tom Ball. And the biggest thing I had in mind was that they did this, and many other places around Texas, they did this without air conditioning. So at that time, if you were to think about building back in the early 1900s, late 1800s, they must have really taken the position of the home, all those things into effect, because there were no air conditioners back then.
Absolutely.
Incredible. You ever think about that, Mike?
Oh, I do. I'm glad I live today.
Without the air conditioner, it's fascinating to think what would not be here in Texas and even other places around the world, but certainly around the United States. When you think about, at this point in time, when you're building and you're designing features in your home from now and beyond, what are some of the things you think or trends that you're seeing other than what's already out there right now? We're talking about smart homes, things like that, maybe pre-wiring things for electronics and stuff. But if you were to look ahead or just guess based on your experience, what do you see down the road, maybe a year from now or even 5 years?
I think that we're not going to see any big changes in maybe the next 1 and I don't know, maybe even 5. There's a lot of technology out there that there's a lot of builders that still aren't embracing it, because with that feature comes a cost. You can talk about tankless hot water heaters. A tankless hot water heater is exactly what it says it is. It doesn't have a tank. It does not have a pilot light that stays on all the time. It's on demand. You turn on the hot water, it comes on. You turn it off, it turns off. So that's one feature that they're a little bit more money now, but when you think about what energy prices may go to in the future, that's going to be an important item. That is an item of the future, or it's here today, but important to put in our houses now. I think the home automation, as far as your lighting, whether it be outside or inside, to program your lights to come on, and also you can program them to come on at 30% of full bright, which, that saves money. And you can program them, because there are people who have kids and there are grown people that just don't turn off the lights. So if you've got it on home automation, it's going to come on at dusk and go off at whatever time that you have it programmed. So if you're one that doesn't turn the lights off, it'll automatically turn them off for you.
I'm glad you mentioned the tankless water heater. My old house, I bought one for that house, and I enjoyed the feature of having the tankless water heater. It's great. In fact, I need to get one on my house right now. But they are tremendous features, and they're clean as far as installation. When you see those big tanks and all that, it's just nice to see that clean design of the tankless heater. Do you have one at your house?
I do.
They're super awesome. So, Mike, with the last minute or so, what else would you like people to know about what's going on at your company? Mike Harrison Custom Homes, and that is MikeHarrisonCustomHomes.com. What else would you like people to know about?
We were really excited about the Tealpointe Lake Estates. It's, as we keep saying, it's an acre-and-a-half community. It's positioned well between I-45 and an I-10 or 290, especially 290. There's a lot of businesses out there that, I'm getting calls regularly that they're either just off of 290 or somewhere between the Woodlands and Tealpointe Estates. So location is great. There are more people today wanting to be on an acre plus than in these master plan communities on let's say in this price point, typically you're going to be on a 120 to 140,000 square foot lot, which is somewhere about a third of an acre. So the fact of being on an acre and a half, I know a lot of people, myself included, have lived in a big home on that size of lot, and you could talk to your neighbor. So to be on an acre and a half and have privacy,
that's a nice
really
feature.
nice.
Yeah, it makes me think though, on an acre and a half, as the home builder, how do you handle the drive up to the home and the surroundings for cars and driveways and things like that? How are you handling that part of the home?
Well, you have a lot more opportunities to hide the garage doors from the street. You're going to be further off the street, which you're going to have parking. So when your guests come, they should never have to park on the road, on the street. They can park on the driveway. I plan on either putting in some sort of a circle driveway or turnaround with parking.
Mike Harrison, MikeHarrisonCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Mike, for being on the show. We're going to come right back with even more. Stay with us. And we march on. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I am still your host, and I'm going to say it again on this show. I say it on all the shows almost, and that is stay close to your Stewart Title Business Development Officer. Why? Because there's always things going on at all our Stewart Title offices. Our Stewart Title Business Development Officers are resources for you, and we have one right here, Becky Bohannon. She is with Stewart Title in Tomball, developing business in a magnificent way 24/7. Becky, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
You're doing that, right? All day long?
All day long, evenings.
That's awesome. So first of all, let's tell people, we already talked about Christmas in July. We ran the promo with Roseanne Rogers about that, and it is upon us. This coming week is Christmas in July.
Yes.
And what's going on for Christmas in July in Tomball?
We are actually, what we did was we passed out fleece material and to the agents, to the offices, and they're called no-sew blankets. And so basically you're cutting the blankets, tying the sides, and we are going to donate the blankets to Texas Children's Hospital.
So you're passing out blankets.
Fleece material.
Fleece. Okay, so that's like material.
Uh-huh.
I've never sewn anything. So
Well, you don't have to sew it.
Okay, so we get this material,
Yes.
and then people can put something together and then make a nice donation.
Yes. So between my office and our Champions office, we probably have over 30 blankets out there. So on July 25th from 12 to 5, you'll come to our offices. We'll have drawings, snacks, food, drinks. It's a kind of a come and go thing, but everybody needs to bring their business cards because we will have drawings as well.
There will be prizes, and who would want to miss that? And that's happening right in Tomball, Texas.
That's exactly right.
That sounds like super fun. But
Yes.
And as I say that, there's always great things going on at all
Yes.
our offices. And while we conduct business, and in this case, while we help others, it's also nice to have a little bit of fun along the way.
I agree. Stewart Title is not only about title insurance, but we are also here to help the community in any way. We are going to have a school supply drive next month. So any way that we can help our community, we're all about it.
And that's incredible.
Yes.
And not only that, should people want to close their next transaction at your office in
Yes.
Tomball, that would be unbelievable.
Yes, it would. I would love to have donations. I would love to close our customers. So
Exactly. And how many escrow officers are at your office?
we have 2 escrow officers, and we have an extra. So that way, if we are not able to get you on the books because we're booked, then we have an extra. So that way, we never have to tell you no. We always have availability.
Always ready for action.
Yes, always.
Be prepared. And that's
Yes.
how we are at all our offices along the way. Not just, and people sometimes think, Becky, that we're just in Houston, but we are beyond Houston. In fact, we are an international company. So I'll remind people about that. Stewart Title, Tomball, and first of all, let's go back to Christmas in July. If they want to participate, they should give you a call or look at the website.
Well, the
what should
blankets
they
are already
do?
passed out because Christmas in July is next week. So that part is over with. But anybody is welcome. We're here to have a good time. We're here to show the support of our children at Texas Children's Hospital. So again, we'll have drawings, food, drinks, all sorts of stuff. It's just about helping out others.
And let's tell people the address.
Our address is 14080 FM 2920 Suite E, Tomball, Texas 77377.
And if you forget that, simply Google Stewart Title. And I must ask, we talked about 99 already on this show. How far from 99 is the Stewart office?
Oh my
roughly?
gosh. Not even 10 minutes away.
No kidding.
Yes, it's very close.
That
we are
is
very
interesting.
convenient. Yes.
Fascinating.
Yes.
So, as we look ahead, Christmas in July,
Yes.
people should attend. They can win prizes, bring your business card, all
Yes.
those things. But here we are. Man, the year, Becky, it's pretty
I know.
soon. I mean, I'm already talking to people about doing things in October. And the year's going,
It's going
at
by.
a rapid
Yes.
pace.
Yes.
As far as up to this point, just give us a quick word on the market in Tomball as far as activity. It's been a pretty good real estate market, generally speaking, I'm
It really
guessing.
has. It's been a great market. We've stayed busy. The contracts are coming in. The closings are happening. You know, we've seen a few times where it's kind of slowed down, but that's because school was just out. People are going on vacations, but it's really picking up right now, and hopefully it'll stay that way till the end of the year.
I think it will. And as I think about a lot of the shows, we have actually done many shows in the last 6 months where we have been on the west side of town, Cypress, Tomball, Spring, and then, of course, we hit the Kingwood area as well. But as we're talking about all those areas, everybody is talking about the activity. So when we go back to the idea of the growth in Houston, that northwest side,
It is growing like a weed.
it is incredible.
I
So
agree.
if you are listening outside of Houston, Texas, you might be in any other state in the nation. I'm going to tell you, go to the map, look at Houston, and then take it and go northwest, and you will see the area we're talking about. Becky, one more time, people want to reach out to you. What should they do?
Well, they can call me here at the office at 281-357-8277. Of course, on my cell, 713-591-3319, or my email, becky.bohannon@stewart.com, BECKY.BOHANNAN @Stewart, STEWART.com.
Becky Bohannon doing incredible work 24/7, even when she sleeps. 713-591. Sometimes I have to write
it's
a joke
true.
every now and then, right?
I'm not sure it's a joke.
Give her a call, 591-3319. Becky Bohannon, Stewart Title Tomball. Just go to stewart.com. Check it out. Thank you so much, Becky.
Thank
We're coming
you.
right back with even more. Please stay with us. So much more is ahead. Our guests are Shelley and Pratt Barndollar with the award-winning Show Homes Houston Home Staging Company. Hey, guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having
How
us.
you doing?
Home staging is so awesome, especially in the real estate world. People need to have their homes looking the best they can, and home staging often and smartly used is very important.
It absolutely is. And, just to remember that when you do home staging, typically you do see that money coming back to you at the end, because you're going to have less time on market and less carrying costs. So in the end, you're actually, you are saving money.
That's right. And it's so important. First of all, let's tell people your website. It is
showhomeshouston.com or phone 832-289-7513.
And when people go to the website, Pratt, the great thing is we love before and after pictures. People can see the work that you do decluttering is so important, making the home look great, and really the first time people see the home usually is online. So the pictures are very important. Thus, if the home's staged properly and the pictures are taken by professionals, that's a great first impression.
That's right. And actually, about 95% of people look online before they even go see the home. So if you're showing an empty house, they have no context of what to put rooms in unless it's clearly a bathroom or a kitchen. So it also has been shown to be much more appealing to buyers, a staged home, and it also shows in person as a well-maintained and well-cared-for home.
Buyers nowadays will look at about 10 or 11 homes online before they pick one to actually go visit. So you need to make sure that you have the high-impact pictures up front, they're very appealing, and that they see something in the first 6 or 7 frames that interests them in the home to get them to look at the rest of the pictures.
In fact, I think that happens all the time. I was looking on HAR yesterday just for the fun of it. This is how I have fun, if you can imagine. So I look around, and what was interesting is I was looking at homes in the $500,000 category, and I saw some with great pictures. And then I saw some with great pictures where the furnishings were cluttered. Now they made it look the best they can, but they really didn't have it didn't look right. And then I saw some with some bad photographs. So all kinds of things are out there. If you're going to sell your home, you better make sure that it's right, that you realize it is a product.
That's right. And the thing to remember is that this is your fiduciary duty to sell it as a realtor, to do the best you can for your client. And taking cell phone pictures, that is not the best you can do. Yeah, it does happen, but you're committing to your seller that you will sell this property for them, and cell phone pictures just don't do it. If you look online and, just like you said, compare professionally taken photos to a cell phone photo, it's a huge difference in your marketing. But and that's the other thing to remember, is that this is your portfolio, that you're going to keep. So do you want to have those kind of photos on your portfolio?
And even as a seller, whether you're the realtor or the seller, it's important to go and look at the photos of your home, but compare it to the other homes in your neighborhood that people are going to be looking at. Like, pretend you're the buyer and you're looking in your neighborhood for comparable homes. You want to make sure that your photos are among the best there, if not the best. And look on more than one website. HAR is big in Houston, but Zillow is a close competitor as well. And then there's also Redfin and several others that you might want to look at, just to make sure that your photos appear well on all of them.
And as far as home staging goes, people need to do things professionally to get the best results. And one of the things that you do, that people may already know this, but they may not know, you do staging for builders, people that have beautiful homes, new homes, and then you go in and stage that property so people can get that same expertise, because everybody loves to go to the open house with the builders because it doesn't look like their home in many cases.
Right.
So they can take that expertise that you have to make the brand new homes look great into their own home.
That's
Absolutely.
right. Yeah. And actually we probably have 75% of our work is in new build homes and new construction. So we work with a lot of new build and new construction homes.
But on the other hand, we just did a house last week that's over 80 years old. So it's you can do the same thing even in a more older traditional style house. And in homes like that, it's often important because modern homes have a nice open floor plan. But a lot of times in the older homes, it's a little bit more carved up, and there maybe have been several renovations or remodels or additions. So it's important to make the home feel open and flow well, and you can do that with proper staging.
In fact, I'm kind of reading Shelley's mind right now, perhaps, and that is that one of the things that keeps you going, doing this for year after year, home after home, each home is different, and I'm going to guess each home, Shelley, is a different challenge.
It is. Actually, every home has its own challenges. whether it's a new build, new construction, where it's all very open, or the builder is very specific on the style that he has built. And in that case, you actually don't want, say you've got a very modern home, you've already narrowed your buyer's pool, because those homes are not going to have just everyday people coming to look at them. You've got a really narrow pool of people that want a home that's like that, but they may not have all the furniture, very, very modern furniture to go with it. So you have to show it in other light as well. So you have to show it with what normal people would have in their house, because the last thing you want is them to walk in and think, I got to go buy all new furniture now for this house. Mm-hmm. So what they see is what is in their mind that they need to have in this home. And that's what staging is all about. You want to show them different ideas. It doesn't have to be mid-century just because you have a mid-century new build home. So you have to show them, buyers need to see that with their own eyes.
The potential of different ideas.
Yeah, definitely.
In fact, I also I say it all the time for people out there, especially real estate professionals, to stay close to their Stewart Title Business Development Officer, because they're doing things, they're having classes, helping inform the community, the real estate community all the time. And periodically you do things with our Stewart Title Business Development Officers, having classes and so forth. So I will tell people once again, remind them, stay close to your Stewart Title Business Development Officer. And before we close out the segment, Shelley, if someone, let's say let's take a break from staging and selling homes, but if someone's out there and says, man, I wish I knew what Shelley and Pratt know, especially Shelley. If they want to just update one room, give us an idea of a staging or even a design tip that someone would say, I want to do something. I'm tired of my room. I want to do something new.
Well, the biggest thing they could do, depending on the colors in your home, if they're an older color, paint makes a huge difference. And it can totally change the way a room feels and looks. So, consider paint, first of all. Consider lighting. That's a really, really big one that we concentrate on, especially with older homes, making sure that it's nice, bright lights and that they're all the same. Mm-hmm. So you don't have different tones and wattages in different lighting. But those can make a huge difference. And then I would say declutter.
It's that simple.
Easy,
so much more to talk about. However, let's tell people the website again is
showhomeshouston.com.
And Pratt, before we leave,
832-289-7513.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. showhomeshouston.com. We're going to come right back with even more. Stay with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we are with Michelle Steffen, Stewart Insurance and Risk Management. Michelle, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Phil. Thanks for having me.
Let's get an idea from the very basics of home insurance, some of the things that you think people should think about and how you engage in that conversation.
Absolutely. So really, when you're looking at a home insurance policy, there's two components. There's two sides of it. It's the structure and the personal property and how you recover on this side. And then on the other side, it's the liability component, medical payments, etc. So really, you have to break those into two and then dissect it, have that conversation, talk about what the customer is going to be responsible for versus what we're going to have the insurance company pay. And then personal liability and medical payments is how do you protect yourself from those situations that come up in life. It essentially is property damage and bodily injury to others. So when those events happen, how do you protect yourself from those issues?
And simply put, that's why people really should have a conversation with someone at your company where you can tailor this insurance properly, whether it's home or auto, but in this case, the home, because there are so many things to think about, and each policy is different.
Definitely. There's so many variables in insurance. One size doesn't always fit all. So it's important to have that conversation. Talk to somebody who is knowledgeable, who is can help give you that confidence when you're making coverage decisions, and ask questions so that you can grow personally and develop your understanding of the coverage that you're buying. It's a two-way street. We've got to communicate. You've got to tell me what your risks are, and I'm going to investigate with you and help you discover those risks, and then we're going to find a solution for you. So as long as a customer is engaged and involved in the process with us, then we're going to be able to find something that will, number one, meet their needs and help protect them after a loss.
And of course, you are looking at policies all the time and are very familiar where the average person may not be, because when we look at a policy, there are so many words there, there's so many contingencies, and it's actually difficult. So we really encourage people to reach out and talk with you. Let's tell them the phone number here, by the way.
Sure. It's 866-845-4676. Again, that's 845-4676.
Give us a word on some of the things that we should think about when thinking about deductibles.
So we already kind of touched on the fact that the insured or the customer, the homeowner, is taking on some responsibility, and then the insurance company takes on responsibility as well. The deductible is essentially their responsibility, what they're going to have to pay to recover. And if the insurance policy doesn't provide essential coverages, then there's a possibility the customer is going to pay above and beyond that deductible. Our job is to help discover those above and beyonds and find solutions for them, or at least educate somebody on what their out-of-pocket risks will be.
Also, let's tell people the website so they can see the full offering of what we have here at Stewart Insurance and Risk Management.
Sure. It's stewart.com, and you just search for the insurance tab.
In the policy, and we're not going to talk about flood right now, but other water situations that occur in the home, those are things that should be looked at, because other than a flood, water could come through walls, leaking pipes, hole in the roof. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. So you've got, the rising water we've talked to at length. Then you have 4 additional water damage coverages, and most people don't know that those even exist. So you've got number 1, sudden and accidental. That's the burst pipe scenario. And then after that, you've got water backup of sewers and drains. So essentially, if the water backs up into the home through the water entry points, that's any water entry point in the home. The third is foundation water damage coverage. So if you have a covered water loss and they have to dig in and excavate into that foundation in order to access the plumbing, that would protect the homeowner in that event to recover that foundation. And remember that the plumbing system itself is not covered. It's the damage that's caused from the water loss. So that's something the customer would be responsible for as a homeowner.
So many nuances. Once again, Michelle, we're making the case that you really should prepare and go over the policy with a professional like yourself. Let's tell them again how they can reach out.
Absolutely. 866-845-4676. One more time, 845-4676. And Bill, one last water damage. I almost missed it. Seepage and leakage coverage. Yeah, and that's the big one. That's the one that most companies don't pay for. Because it is something that's typically excluded, you don't just need to ask. You need to understand what the limitations are in your policy. So definitely make sure, again, those 4, seepage and leakage, sudden and accidental, water backup, and then foundation water damage.
Very nice. Michelle Steffen, Stewart Insurance and Risk Management. Thank you, Michelle.
Thanks, Bill.
And here we go. It's time to wind up the show, but yet we still get to talk to the guests just one more time. They'll give us their contact information. She is back. Debbie Smith. Debbie, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
And, of course, Lewis, your husband, is right by your side right here.
It's
yes,
great.
Thanks.
Yeah, and let's tell people, Debbie, before we close out the show, what else would you like them to know about Tealpointe Lake Estates or anything else?
Well, I just want to say, if you're thinking about building a custom home in a very exquisite, private, with a nice big lot, Tealpointe Lake Estates is a really good place to go, and the custom home builders we've picked out build a beautiful product. It takes a while to build a home. It takes a while to design it and to build it. So we have plenty of lots right now, and this is a great time to come check our subdivision out.
That sounds incredible. So, Debbie, if someone wants to reach out to you, what should they do?
I think get on the website, tealpointelake.com, and it's spelled Tealpointe, lake.com.
Tealpointelake.com, Tealpointe, lake.com. They put that E in there, right?
Yes. Everything you need to know is on the website, phone numbers and so on.
It is right there. And Lewis, let's tell people, what else would you like them to know?
If you're thinking about moving to Houston or relocating in the greater Houston area, the Tomball area is a wonderful place to live. Tealpointe Lake Estates is conveniently located off of the Grand Parkway, which is State Highway 99, and we're a half a mile north of there, so it's convenient to all the employment centers in Houston. And so contact Debbie if you're interested. We'd like to have your input, and hopefully you come and make Tealpointe Lake Estates your home.
There you go. And also give us a quick word, either one of you or both, and that is a husband and wife team. You're both in the real estate profession for, I guess, several years, working side by side in many cases. But let's tell people, and in the real estate world, there's a lot of husband and wife realtor teams out there, and teams of all sorts. But give us an idea what you all do to work and to be married together successfully all these many years. I mean, there's other people out there that probably want some advice. Give us a tip.
Well, Lewis is gone. He's really been the commercial and I've been the residential, so we haven't had to work side by side. When we first got started, he thought that residential was a little bit of a bottom feeder, but he has learned that there's a lot to know about residential, and he's really my mentor. He knows more about real estate in his little finger than I do. So it's been a joy working with him. He's very smart and good at what he does.
As they say, it takes teamwork to make the dream work. Mike Harrison, CustomHomes.com. Hey, Mike, welcome back.
Thank you.
Before we close out the show, what else would you like people to know, Mike?
One thing to keep in mind, there's a limited opportunity in that quadrant of Houston, Texas. There's just not a lot of lots, and there's not, I'm looking every day, and there's nothing that I'm aware of that's going to be coming in that area past Tealpointe Estate. So, and especially at an acre and a half. So, if they're interested, they need to come out and take a look, and we can take it from from the design stage of designing the floor plan, build it. My wife is the interior design person, and she can help you from selecting all your colors to, if you need her to do furniture and all that, she can take it from there and finish it and move you in.
There you go. Thank you so much, Mike Harrison, CustomHomes.com. And Debbie, should people be sad that the show is ending at the time of broadcast?
No.
And the reason is because it never really ends. People can go to Stewart.com/Houston to hear this show again, or any and all shows. I think this is show number 2,085. No, 285. That's right. Stewart.com/Houston. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Debbie, Lewis, Mike, Shelley, Pratt, and Becky, and even Cherish. She didn't get to say anything today, but stay with us. Next week, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I'm your host, Bill Nampick. Stewart.com/Houston. That's Stewart.com/Houston. We'll see you then, and thank you for listening. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. This is Roseanne Rogers. Stewart Title has a rich history of giving back to local communities where we serve. So we're proud to bring you our Christmas in July event on Thursday, July 25th, to support local charities across the Houston area and surrounding areas. That's right, Christmas in July. I know it's usually in December, but we're having it in July as well. Through this event, Stewart Title employees, customers, and community can participate in festive events to support their local charities this summer. So join us on Thursday, July 25th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at our new corporate headquarters located at 1360 Post Oak Boulevard for a day of giving back through adoptions and donations in support of the Harris County Animal Shelter. For donation and event details, Stewart Title locations throughout the city, contact me, Roseanne Rogers, at roseanne.rogers@stewart.com. Or if you can't find me, just Google me. You can also reach out to your local business development officer in your area. So we'll see you Thursday, July 25th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. for our Christmas in July. Ho, ho, ho.